do. And I'm a dad, 3 kids and a wife. I'm 5'3", weigh 230 pounds. So like the idea wasn't to compete. It was just to be the best me I could be. So I just got in the gym and tried to be as consistent as life would let me. I've always been a part of fitness because I played football in high school, did the weightlifting team, things like that. But my journey now was something I started because I wanted to live longer for my kids. You have 3 kids and their ages are 14, 10, and now a 1-year-old. Ideally, I would love to see them grow up and get married and have their own kids. So the only way I could do that is to live longer, and fitness was the choice. One day I was in the gym and I just so happened to have a shirt. It was inside out, and in the mirror I could see it. And I was like, why can't I see my shirt? Like, why can't I read it? Because when you look in the mirror, everything's backwards.
Right.
And I was like, what the heck? My brother's like, your shirt's inside out. And I'm like, what? Oh, it is. I was like, oh, that's dope. Like, you can read it. And I was like, I need to do that with the shirt, you know, have it backwards. You don't see that with anybody. Everybody's brand is like, you know, face value. And I was like, but for me, that was like, it just, it started spinning because to be the difference, you know, Michael Jackson, right? Mm-hmm. Man in the Mirror. And like that all came into, and it's like, you can't change anybody. You can only change yourself. And where does that start? When you wake up and you look in the mirror. Every single person wakes up and looks in the mirror. I mean, I think so anyway. I do, you know? So, mirror. And I was like, oh, that's tight. And then perspective, which is what I was going for initially, because I think everybody has their own perspective on life, you know? Where you see a trial, I see an ability to get better, you know, like, oh, that's my downfall. No, that's not a downfall. That's a way to get over it and make it something awesome. And so I was like, oh, yeah, mirror perspective. And then I was like, training, because that's what I do. Is I train people. So I was like, mirror perspective training, that's tight. So I had an uncle, he made shirts. And I was like, hey, this is what I want to get on my shirt. And I want to wear it before I actually start training, you know, because you got to get certified and everything. And actually, in Florida, you don't have to. You don't have to be certified as far as I know. You just do it, but for insurance-wise and stuff like that. I sent him the idea of what I wanted on the shirt. And he sends it back to me. And because, you know, I'm super smart, I don't know how to spell. He's like, hey, how's this look? And I was like, oh, not perfect. You know, the design and everything is perfect. And so I get the shirts made for everybody. And the whole reason I made the shirts the very first time was because I was going into the bodybuilding show. And in the bodybuilding show, everybody has like their team. Well, my team is my family. So I at least wanted to have something. We're Team Yabui. And so I had that on the back of the shirt, but I also wanted it to be my brand, like, because eventually I wanted to take this and train people in a gym and just have everybody follow under me. And so we had the brand in the front, which is not this one, you know. So when he sends me the shirt, it's actually prospective instead of perspective. So my coworker, he was like, is that what you meant to say? I was like, yeah, perspective, dude. You know, the way you see things, your outlook on things. And he's like, no, that's not right. And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, that's how you spell it, right? And he was like, no, it's not. It's perspective is P-E-R. The way I have it on a shirt is prospective. And I was like, oh crap, dude, I already made all these shirts. We're already wearing them. It's like, I ruined it. But then I looked up the definition for prospective, and that actually, the definition for that is expecting a particular outcome. And I'm like, holy crap, that's even better. Because mirror, you start in the mirror. Your perspective is expecting something to happen in the future, like expecting a particular outcome, which also goes back to my very first like slogan I used to live by, was control your outcome, which I stole that from Never Back Down. And in that movie, the trainer tells the kid, you can always, like, there's always a way to get out of something. You know, if you're in a headlock, how you do something could get you either choked out or you can get out of it, right? So you gotta, so I used to live by that, control your outcome, ever since that movie came back. So that goes way back when. So then I was like, holy crap, this was the greatest mistake to happen. So now you start in the mirror, then you have your perspective, which is expecting a particular outcome. Because when you're training, everybody has a goal. That's your outcome, right? Whether it's to be stronger, be skinnier, be faster, just look better naked. I mean, something, right? So I was like, that's sick. And then the training part. So, I mean, that's where my brand, ideally, that's my brand that I wanted to get established, was Mirror Perspective Training, because that's what I live for, right? And so then Be the Difference was our tagline, or whatever you call it. And so in the mirror, you're going to look at yourself. So this isn't for you. This isn't for everybody that's in the gym. This is for the person wearing that shirt. When I'm looking myself in the mirror, I'm reminded to be the difference. Like, I'm not here for anybody else. I mean, ultimately, for me, I'm here for my kids, but I'm here to change myself. You know, we go to the gym to look good. We go to the gym to relieve some stress. We go to the gym to get healthy. So start in the mirror, be the difference for myself. And so that's why, that's where this came from, and that's what I live for. Yeah.
I hustle and motivate. Follow me, I know the way. Grind hard on them every night and day. And the 40 bang hard in the air, I don't play. I aim for the neck and the jugular. So don't people think I'm a smuggler. Don't get it confused, bro, I'm just a hustler. Been in the gym, so I got my muscle up.
Short people problems.
I'm like Yosemite Sam in the Wild West. I just laugh at them when they wear a vest, cause it's headshots on sight. I don't do beef, I just lay it to rest. I'm so hungry, my broke down malicious. On my journey, I'm chasing my riches. I got so many reasons that I gotta make it, so I wake up and I go get it. I move like I'm the mob in my all black. If you never seen greatness, then you about to witness.
Let's go, I'm coming for you. That's how the bodybuilders do it, there.
Been at the bottom and I'm never going back. I'm fully focused and I'm on track. I'm tired of waiting, I'm running out of patience. I'm about to make my move right now. I'm about to make my move right now. I'm tired of waiting, I'm running out of patience. I'm about to make my move right now. I'm about to make my move right now. I'm tired of waiting, I'm running out of patience. I'm about to make my move right now. I'm about to make my move right now.
So, Be the Difference started originally in church. Just listen to my pastor, Pastor Phil, at Generations United. You know, Sunday mornings, just going in, being a typical churchgoer. You know, you go in, you listen, you fall asleep, you count the tiles. But this one day, he just said something, and I was like, "Holy crap!" You know, I think a lot of Christians, God followers, Catholics, whatever you want to call them, however you do it, a lot of people try to go in, you need to read your Bible, you need to do this, you need to do that, and 99% of us are not living that life. Like, we're telling everybody to do something, we're telling everybody to how to live their life, but yet we're going home doing the same thing they're doing, cussing at our wife, cheating on our spouses, stealing, lying. We're all doing the same thing, but then we're going in and telling somebody, you can't be in this place because you're not good, you know? You can't be in this place because the way you look. And it's just like, God, how stupid is that? Like, how hypocritical are we, right? And we're all hypocrites in our own form, but, you know, sometimes we just got to accept that and keep pressing on. So for me, that be the difference was like, I can't change anybody, but I can be the change that I want to see in somebody. So for my kids, I'm an adult. I'm allowed to cuss. I'm allowed to drink. I'm allowed to smoke. I'm of the age where I can do that. But if I don't want my kids to do that, how do I sit there, light up a cigarette, and be like, don't smoke, it's not good for you, you know? Or, you know, don't eat that candy because it's going to make you fat, or whatever. And so for me, it's like, I'm going to stop trying to change people, because by doing that, it's hard, and I'm gonna like, oh, the world sucks because nobody wants to change. Well, you know what? The one person I can change is myself. So if I can be the example or be the difference, then that's what it is. Because at the end of the day, if I don't make you better, I can at least try to make myself better. So like, if I don't want to be racist, well then freaking I need to stop being racist. If I don't want my kids to cuss, then I shouldn't cuss around them. I'm going to slip up and I'm going to, you know, be human. But if I don't want to see them do something, and that's really where it goes back to, it's just my family, my general people around me, I'm going to stop trying to change them and just change myself, you know. And for me, I feel like it's worked. My kids, my high school daughter, she's in a mix of all kinds of craziness. I mean, you hear the stories. Kids are shooting, kids are having sex. I mean, they're just doing it all. I mean, all the way into like elementary school now, like the jewels and stuff, you know, they just get it, you know, people are passing them around. And so I can look at my daughter and say, you know what, you shouldn't do that. Can I stop her completely? No, but I can be the difference in her life, being like, oh, my dad doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, and he's having a good time. And you know, that may not be everybody's choice. Like, they may enjoy having a beer, they may enjoy having a wine, which is totally fine, and I think everybody should. And occasionally I'll have a glass of wine, not now because I'm getting ready for bodybuilding, but I mean, if I can make a little bit of an influence in my kid's life, that's all I care about. So full circle, the journey is tough. It's tough because when you start, when you're 230 pounds and you're just fat, I mean, I know people don't like that word, but you're fat. I mean, you're 5'3", 230 pounds. Most people at 230 pounds are not healthy. I don't care at what size you are. I mean, if you're like 6'10" or whatever and you're 230 pounds, you're probably decently healthy. But me being 5'3", 230 pounds, I was just fat, you know, and I didn't feel like it. People didn't look at me weird. But going into the gym and being able to be like, you know what, that person I see in the mirror, it's gonna change. Help me learn to be consistent. But the people around me, my family, that was the hard part, you know, trying to balance a job, 3 jobs, so we can provide to keep a house going with my wife and her job and the kids. And it's like, how do you do it, you know? But it put something in me that I wanted to do it, you know? And I had missteps and I had back steps, and not having the full support is really tough. And so that the initial journey was hard, to wake up every day, to get in the gym, which that's why I work out at 4 o'clock in the morning, because it was the one time I knew I could for sure get in the gym. You know, working 3 jobs, you never know what's gonna happen. 3 kids, or at the time I had 2 kids, now 3 kids, you can't count on being able to make it to the gym. So I had to make a sacrifice going, I'm going to wake up early before anybody else is waking up, before some kids are even going to bed, right? That was the one time I knew I wouldn't be bothered. In the sense that I could make it to the gym every day if I just showed up. Which caused its own problems, because I have kids, I have a wife, I want to spend time with them, so we stay up late. So I'm going to bed at 11, 12 o'clock, and everybody out there would be like, oh, you're making yourself sick because you're not sleeping enough. Yeah, maybe, but I feel okay. One thing I learned from Arnold when he was doing his whole thing, he said sleep faster, and I don't know if it's possible, but I think I figured it out. Most days, even to this day, I only go on 3-4 hours of sleep, and maybe it's unhealthy, I don't know, but I feel good, but I'm able to balance everything else out. I can wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, make it to the gym by 4, get my workout in, make it to work by 5:30, work for 8 to 9 hours, come home, spend time with my wife, be able to pick up my kids, cook dinner, help my wife with dinner and clothes, and make it to the gym with them, or try to get another workout in, go to another job, and get home, and by that time it's 11, and get to bed, hopefully. And now having a baby, sometimes it was 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning that I was falling asleep, because I have a wife who takes care of the kids all day, and then will stay up late and do all that. But I wanted to be a dad too. The time that I was able to spend time with my kids, I didn't want to miss out on that. So crazy, now that I think about it, my initial driver to lose weight was to join the military, because I wanted to provide for my family, and I figured the military was the way to go. Free insurance, housing, things like that, guaranteed paycheck for the most part. And when we got our new baby, I was like, I'm not going to the military. I mean, I lost the weight and I was able to do it now. Like, I was able to go in and meet with a recruiter. But the baby was coming, and I was like, I'm not going to miss those moments. I don't want to miss that, my wife giving birth. I don't want to miss her first steps. I don't want to miss one single thing. Like, I want to be a dad full time too. So I decided not to go in the military. So that's why I picked up 3 jobs. And then when I'm home, I want to be a dad. I want to be a husband. I want to give everything I got, just like in the fitness world, to my family, because at the end of the day, the gym's not there. I have my family, and that ties into where I had some drawbacks, because I wanted to spend time with the family meant I may miss a day in the gym. My wife, she's here doing her job, taking care of the kids. I needed to give her a break, right? I needed to give her a time to go to the gym, and so we butted heads a lot, because she was like, you just want to be in the gym. And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm a man, like, that's where I need to be, and I want to lose weight, and I want to build these muscles, and it's not that she didn't want me to be in the gym, but she wanted me to be a family too, and how is it fair for her to stay home and take care of the kids and take care of the house while I'm working, I'm spending time working, I'm providing a house to live in, and she was doing the same thing. But like, how fair is it for me to be able to go to work, come home, help the kids with their homework, and get back to the gym? Like, when was her time? So we butted heads a lot with that, because it was like, what about me? What about me? And in every sense, I think we both had the same right to say that, but it was like, so I mean, we spent a lot of time like just not seeing eye to eye, because like she wanted to be in the gym, but I wanted it more. At least that's what I felt. And so it was hard because now I'm missing days in the gym, taking a step backwards, not having a good relationship because now I'm holding that grudge against her. Like, I'm not making gains because you're not letting me go to the gym, when it really wasn't like that, but that's how I saw it. And I held some things against her in my fitness journey. Like, I did this to prove you wrong that I could do it, but now I can't prove you wrong because I can't go to the gym because you want me to be home to help you. And it was just stupid, but it helped me like understand that there's more to it, right? So there's a lot of things. We were completely different people. She grew up big city on her own, her and her mom. I grew up small town Niceville, nothing but family, huge family. And then when I meet you, now you're family. And when I meet that person, now they're family. So the family just kept growing. And so when we got together, it was a clash of two separate worlds where no one was ready to budge. She didn't want to change because why should she? That's what she knew. I didn't want to change because that's what I knew. So we're trying to make this world or this relationship work based on two separate things, and we just kept fighting each other. But most recently, we've both been able to talk on a whole different level that, man, if we take your world and my world and put it together, I mean, we'd have the best world. And so most recently, for me, myself, I was able to sit back and be like, it's not about me anymore, It is a long term, it is to, that I still want my goal to be the baddest dude on stage or the baddest dad walking around, right? Like, I want my daughters to be able to be like, yeah, that's my dad. He's freaking ripped, But at the same time, I need to make sure that my family's at the forefront. My whole life, I've been a spotlight. Everybody knows Jojo. Everybody knows he's going to do something good. Everybody knows he's going to help. And I wouldn't say that it didn't make me a little big-headed, but I tried to be humble in the sense that, like, I would never boast about it ever. But maybe unknowingly I walked around a little high-headed, thinking that my stuff didn't stink. But what I realize now is that if I want my life to be better, the people around me got to feel that same way about themselves. So being able to put my wife in the forefront and my kids in the forefront, being like, their life matters more to me than mine does, in the sense that, and maybe it's a little selfish too if you want to think about it, I want to make their life better to make my life better. So, I mean, you take it how it is, but for me, it was like, man, if I can make my wife feel what I feel in the gym, maybe, just maybe, it'll be easier. So, instead of me trying to go to the gym all the time, why don't I go with her? And, cheesy, but we could be that couple, right? Like that gym couple that you see that always works out together. Like, oh, look how cheesy they are. They're kissing. They're working out together. They never leave each other's side. But it's like, how cool would that be, though, if you really could do that and it was a good thing? And so changing that aspect in my mind was like, yup, let me give that a try, I got 4 o'clock already. That's my time. No one's bothering me. So why do I need another time? Why don't I make that her time? And even if that means staying home and watching the kids so she can go run because she loves to run. Like, she feels like cardio is, her stress relief. Cool. Maybe she sat home and did nothing all day. Instead of me being like, why do you need to go to the gym? You didn't do anything. You should have did it at home. No, I already worked out, let her go to the gym. And then, so if I ever do become a trainer, she'll be the reason I'm the best trainer I am. Because when I work out with her, it's like, I don't feel that. like, do, you know, bench like this, pull like this, you know, do that. You should feel it right here. And she'd look at me like I'm stupid. And I'm like, you know, the old me was like, just do it. You gotta feel it. You gotta get a mind muscle, and you gotta feel it better, and you gotta squeeze harder. And through the year of working out with her, I realized, like, shut up, dude. We're all different. Just because I feel that bench press doesn't mean she's gonna feel it the same way. You know, our limbs are different, our muscles connect different, the ligaments are different. We just have different, like, ranges of the way we push. So what made me go, okay, you don't feel that? Let's try it this way. Get your elbows that way. And you know, if you go to the typical gym bro, they're like, oh, you're doing that all wrong, you know. But if with her being so meticulous in the way she felt it, it helped me go, you could do that workout a little bit different than me, but feel it, what I'm trying to tell you. Boom, hit me. Dude, this gym thing, it's not one way, it's every way. And I'm squeezing here, and she gets there and she does it, and she's like, I don't feel it. I can now be like, okay, well, change the way you're sitting. Now do you feel it? Or just point at, like, hey, this is where I need you to feel it. So do whatever you can, situation yourself so you can feel it. And then she's like, oh, yeah, that hurts. And I'm like, that's the feeling you need. So whatever you're at, do that. So same concept, maybe we look completely different, but she's feeling it. So if I ever become a trainer, I'm gonna be the best trainer because of her. Because we spent days arguing. We spent days going in the gym thinking we're gonna get a workout, and she's pissed off at me because I'm not understanding where she's coming from, and I'm pissed off at her because she's not feeling it like I am. And so it's like, I mean, I can't count how many times we left the gym just ticked off at each other. And then how stupid is that? Now we're coming home, we're pissed off, we take it out on the kids, and it's just dumb, you know? But I was able to take all of that, sit back, and be like, it's not about me anymore, man. Like, it is about me, but if I want my life to be better, I gotta live the life that I want to see. And so for my wife, instead of trying to be the man, why don't I just sit back, you know, let me listen to her, let me really listen to her, you know, like, she's like, I'm tired, instead of me being like, why are you tired, you've been home all day, or why are you tired, you just got your nails done, or whatever.
It's like a team mindset.
Yeah, and changing that has made tremendous moves in our relationship, because I'm able to talk to her now, like, hey babe, I hear what you're saying, but this is the way I'm taking it, you know. How do you feel about that? Or, you know, is that what you meant to say? And it's changed so much. We've been together for 8 years, and we've been doing nothing but just trying to change each other. Just kept changing each other, and that's not how I grew up, so, you know, I don't have to do that. And it was just so hard, you know. But now, I mean, don't get me wrong, I still get mad. I still get upset with the things we do or the way she says something, and I know she gets mad at me. But, like, I was able to sit back and be like, is it really worth getting pissed off about? And to me, it's not. To somebody else, it might be. But I know by me sitting back and being like, you know what, let me hurt. Okay, so part of this whole thing, when she moved here, she's more or less a nobody, you know. I lived here all my life, so everybody knows Jojo. You walk through Walmart, right? 500 people are talking to you, like, Jojo, yo, what's up, you know? And when she moved here, I was like 22, so, you know, right out of high school, more or less, you know, still live in this area. So we'll walk through Walmart, we're hand in hand, all the girls that I knew, Jojo, oh my God, can't wait to see you again, blah, 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 you look so good. And I'm just like, yeah, you know, not thinking anything of it because that's just what I'm used to, you know, talking to people, giving them hugs and everything. And for her, it was like, nah, that's not cool. You don't hug my man kind of thing. And like for me, I'm just like, you're dumb. Like, why are you being jealous? I'm not doing anything. These are just friends. But like come full circle, it's like, dude, that's kind of messed up, really, you know? Like, how fair is that for her to come into a place she doesn't know and all these girls are hugging up on me, even though it means nothing, especially means nothing to me because I'm with her. But for her perspective, it's like, dude, he's got all these girls, he's gonna cheat on me, you know? And so her point of view was like, this guy's probably gonna cheat on me. My point of view was like, you're stupid, why would I cheat on you? I'm with you, why would I want to do that? So, you know, all we did was butt heads at that. And so for me, I needed to sit back and be like, maybe, just maybe, I'm wrong, you know? Maybe I'm not, but maybe I am. So being able to see it through her eyes and put her at the forefront and be like, yeah, I get it. You don't want me to hug that girl? Cool, that's fine. What does it matter? Because I'm with you. I'll get my hugs from you, you know? Or I'll get my hugs from my kids or my family. Like, I don't need everybody to hug me, you know? What's up? How you doing, you know? Be cool with it. And when I was able to realize that was a while ago, but put that in perspective with our relationship, you know? Understand that what she's going through may not be the way I see it, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't understand where she's coming from. And like I said, you know, at times I'm still not happy. I'm still not like the most agreeant. I don't agree with the way we're doing things. But how much do I really lose giving in sometimes, you know? Like, if the whole, like, where should we go eat kind of thing. When I first started the fitness journey, when I was dieting, she would ask me where you want to go eat, and I'd be like, oh, I don't care, whatever, you know? But then we'd get there, and I'd be like, I can't eat here. And she'd be like, what the heck? And she wasn't mad that I wasn't eating. She was mad that she couldn't share that time with me to eat. Like, she wanted to go to a place where we could eat together. And so she would get mad at me, but the way I heard it was like, you're dieting, you're stupid, like, just eat. But really what she was saying was like, we're going out to eat, why are you not eating with us? Like, this is our time to share. And at the time I didn't see it like that. But now I can see that, like, the words she was saying, even though it wasn't like, we're not eating together, it was like, you're stupid because you're not eating with us. Like, you know, those were the words I heard, but what she was really saying was, like, I just want to spend time with you, you know? So, just that in itself, now I can sit back and be like, am I really hearing what people are saying, you know? And then, you know, tie that into the fitness world, you know? That's why for me, I love fitness, because you can do it every way and it all works. It all works. You just gotta be consistent. Keto diet, count your macros, whatever. It works. It all works. I don't care what anybody says. But how consistent can you be with that, right? So in a relationship, it all works. Whether it's a good or bad thing, it all will work. It'll all either make it better or it'll make it worse. But how consistent are you going to be with it? So now sitting back, being consistent in listening and being consistent in just changing my outlook on things. And the biggest thing for me, even like my relationship with my dad and my brother, And my kids, it's like, before I would always try to be more or less right, you know? I would always try to have my opinion matter that much, but being able to put people in front of you and let them have that spotlight makes a huge difference. So like in fitness as a trainer, it's not about how good of a trainer you are. It's about how you can make that person that you're training feel, right? So if they want to do a push-pull leg split, do a push-pull leg split. They want to do a full body, you do a full body. They want to do keto, they want to be a vegan. I'm not going to tell them how stupid they are, even though I think it's stupid. But if that's what they want to do and they can live that consistently, oh, let's do it, you know? So, all that said, if I could leave anybody with anything, it's literally be the difference. Don't try to change anybody. Change yourself, because you can be changed. Most people say, I don't need to change myself. I'm good. They need to change. They need to be like me. Well, if you want them to be like you, why don't you be the best influence you can for them? You know? You can't tell somebody to be some way and you're an asshole. You can't tell someone to eat some way and you're eating like crap. But you're like, oh, I can do it because I work out. If you want them to eat good, then eat good. Live that example. You want someone not to cuss, then don't cuss. Or have someone hold you accountable every time you do cuss. Oh, my daughter's $15 because I keep cussing. And you know what? I gotta hold myself to that, and she does it too. So even if I say like hell, that's not a bad word, right? It's in the Bible. And that's what I always tell her. No, Dad, am I allowed to say it? No, I don't want you to say it. All right, then it's a cuss word. Okay. So, you know, if I could just tell anybody and give a gift, it's the mentality to just be the difference. Change yourself. Be the difference you want to see in somebody else.